Hey guys, Jordan here, and in this video I'm going to be answering one of your guys' questions, so let's get into it. Alright, so on my channel I talk about real estate photography, so if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. Today's question / comment is on a video I made that says, should you learn how to edit or just outsource your photography? And Costa Mesa Photography, I guess longtime viewer, because I've answered several of your questions, so appreciate your question or comment. It says, I like your answer since it was responsive to the question, was based on business-centric perspective. If you consider yourself a photographer, then I think the answer to the question is completely different, right? So this is in my opinion, I bring more of a business-minded instead of, because obviously my goal has always been to build a business, and that's what I've done. But you know, there is that aspect of the photographer. If you just want to be a photographer and not hire other people, or just be a photographer by yourself, it's a completely different mindset. Anyways, let's get back to it. If you simply consider yourself a real estate media business, then the process by which you deliver products to your clients is based on process, cost, etc., not on whether or not you've mastered to some level anyways those processes yourself. Yeah, so business, yeah, it's like, how can you do it fast, efficient, save money? Because, you know, when you have a business, there's a lot of cost involved, a lot of you know, people. I think our biggest expense is definitely our you know, our wages to our people. But so it's very important to master cost. But anyways, when I first started Lister Pros, I was more of the mindset of the photographer, because in order to get to that business mastery of things, I think you have to master your craft as well. You can't just come in with a business mind. Yeah, you can be successful and whatnot, but I think it's a lot more fun when you know all the variables of the business. You can shoot, you can edit, you can do everything. So I think you have more things you can tinker with to make your business successful. That's why I think it's very important to master. So whether or not you've mastered to some level those processes yourself. The question implies the person knows how to use a camera, presumably not just be a button pusher, but be able to compose, visualize, and I would also add probably be able to adjust your settings yourself, but not how to edit. I find that interesting, but again, if the objective is running a business, that is more a question of process and outsourcing, apparently. Yeah, because if you're a photographer, and that's one thing that I found interesting to me, because I'm more of a process guy. That's one thing I really like about the photography, and that's why I like doing my own editing, because there's so many variables to process or ways to get that end result that you want. And I found joy, and it was really fun for me to kind of figure out a process that's efficient to get to. It was almost like a challenge to me, right? So maybe you're out shooting properties right now and it's taking you 3 hours and this. Okay, think to yourself, at least this is my mindset, how could I do that in half the time and get 90% of the result? What equipment could I use? And it really has changed over time, because when I first started shooting high-end properties, I used low TOTA lights. I would be plugging into houses. It would take me forever to set up lights. I would be, you know, just blasting the house with lights, and it was a way more complex. So that's kind of where I started on that, and then I just, as technology got better, lighting got better, I figured out different ways to get that look. And one thing that I did was, you want a big flash with a fast recycle time, with a gel that could simulate that kind, or I guess that light temperature, if you will, and then be able to have a shutter speed slow enough where you can flash multiple times, and you can essentially achieve a similar result. But anyways, that's just one example of one thing that I recall doing. And I would say, don't just go after everything, don't do everything that I say, don't do everything that people say or process. I'm just going to follow what this guy does to the T. No, you can learn how somebody does it and say, that's interesting. I want to do this part of what he's saying, but maybe not the rest. Or, this part right here is valuable to what I'm trying to achieve, because everybody has different goals, what you're trying to achieve, yourself and your customer. I think customer bases matter as well. What do your customers value at the end of the day? But anyways, that's the beauty of business. I think that's what makes it so much fun. But I think if you're just going in it for the money and just want to shoot and outsource your editing right away, I think, in my opinion, you might be boxing yourself in later on, or wishing that you would have known the process, because that's how some of my students, conversations I've had, editing's my most expensive expense. Okay, but they never took time to learn, or they don't have the idea. And I've given them ideas how to reduce their editing costs by outsourcing to not necessarily companies, where companies have a good amount of overhead, but maybe to an individual, and train this person where you can cut out all that excess cost potentially, or even turn Upwork admins into editors, right? Depending on how complex your software is. So anyways, that's it. That's kind of a long-winded answer for me, at least, because I'm usually pretty short with these. So anyways, if you got value out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you guys on the next one.